Good morning, it's the 1st of August 2022. I'm Sarah Harris. Here's what's making news on 10 News First Breakfast. Australia's energy crisis. The nation's gas supply faces its biggest shortfall in almost a decade. What it will mean for your next bill. A dream start in the top job. Anthony Albanese's approval rating soars to a record high. Bitter brew. Beer drinkers hit with the biggest tax hike in 30 years. And Emma McKeon makes history, the Aussie superstar blitzing the field in the final of the 50-metre freestyle.
This is 10 News First.
Good morning. Australia's gas supply is facing its biggest shortfall in 7 years, fueling skyrocketing prices and blackouts. The consumer watchdog is releasing a report today warning households could be left in the dark unless the big three exporters keep their gas for domestic markets. Australia's east coast could also face up to a 10% gap between demand and supply in 2023. Treasurer Jim Chalmers has called the findings alarming and is urging government intervention. A backpackers trip from Bali to Darwin has become the world's most expensive Macca's run. The traveller was sprung at Darwin Airport with a haul of undeclared items and fined more than $2,500. 2 sausage and egg McMuffins from a Bali McDonald's were seized, as well as a ham croissant. Stricter border control and biosecurity measures have been brought in at our airports in a bid to protect Australia's $100 million beef industry from foot and mouth disease. The offending food items will now undergo testing before being destroyed. Just 2 days after the New South Wales Premier declared his support for her, Dominic Perrottet has sacked his workplace safety minister, Eleni Patinos, over claims she'd bullied staff. An anonymous complaint accused the embattled Miranda MP of abusing her team and using threatening language. In a statement last night, the Premier said the decision to sack Patinos from Cabinet came after further matters came to light. The former minister has apologised for her conduct, saying she would never intentionally offend anyone. Well, Australia has had another golden day in Birmingham. Swimmer Emma McKeon has become the first, decorated Aussie athlete to compete at the Commonwealth Games. And 10 News First's Jade Kotick joins us now live from Birmingham. Jade, wow, tell us about Emma McKeon. She swam into the history books.
Sarah, it was an incredible performance, to say the least. It was the 50-metre women's freestyle that landed Emma McKeon in the history books. She outpaced 2 of her teammates to take home gold. That's her 11th gold medal in Commonwealth Games history, now making her the most decorated athlete in the Commonwealth Games, giving her 1 additional medal to that of Ian Thorpe, Susie O'Neill and Liesl Jones. An incredible performance tonight, but it wasn't just Emma McKeon making the history books. The women's relay 200-metre freestyle relay obliterated the world record that was set by the Chinese team at Tokyo Olympics only last year. They came in very fast. Ariane Titmus was the final leg of that freestyle relay and she just absolutely smashed it tonight. We also saw Kaylee McEwen come in setting a new Commonwealth Games record for the 100-metre women's backstroke. So all night it was just a fantastic effort in the pool. But outside of the pool on the track, we've also seen success today with the Australian women's rugby sevens team taking out gold against Fiji tonight. And we also saw gold in the women's gymnastics today. Georgia Godwin, she took home silver in the 2018 Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast in 2018. Tonight, she came back and she claimed gold. So it's been successful all day, particularly for the women. Sarah?
Yeah, gold rush for the girls. Jade Kotick there. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, he's barely been in the job 3 months, but new Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is already enjoying a record approval rating not seen since Bob Hawke was Prime Minister in 1985. News poll puts Mr Albanese's approval rating at 61%. That's a 20% jump on the last poll and a record for an incoming Prime Minister. He's also ahead as preferred Prime Minister, leading Peter Dutton 59 to 25. Support for Labor has also increased post-election, 56 to the Coalition's 44. That's almost 4-point jump for Labor since the May election. At least 40 people have died with COVID in Queensland nursing homes last month, half of those in the last 7 days. New data shows 231 aged care facilities have active outbreaks in the Sunshine State, representing 46% of nursing homes. The state recorded more than 4,600 daily new cases in its most recent figures. Turned in Sydney last night after a brawl between soccer fans erupted after the Australia Cup match. Flares were thrown and families were caught up in the violence at Leichhardt Oval, and 10 News First reporter Samara Gardner is there. Samara, good morning. What happened?
Good morning. Yes, crowds were just starting to leave the grounds here at Leichhardt Oval last night following a match between Sydney FC and the Central Coast Mariners when, of course, this violent brawl did break out. Now, more than a dozen people could be seen in the car park throwing flares and yelling at each other. Most were wearing masks and were hooded. However, terrified families had to run back into the stadium as this occurred in the car park. Now, this crowd did quickly disperse when the police riot squad arrived. There have been no reported injuries, but certainly police are working to track down those involved today.
All right, Samara Gardner reporting there. Thank you. A man has been seriously injured in a violent home invasion in Western Sydney overnight. Police were called to a home on Federal Road at Seven Hills just after 10 p.m. over reports of several men forcing entry. A man in his 20s suffered multiple stab wounds to the leg, arms and body. He was loaded into an ambulance and rushed to Westmead Hospital. A crime scene has been established. It's Missing Persons Week and police are launching a fresh appeal into the mystery disappearance of a Brisbane woman who vanished from Sydney almost a year ago. In October 2021, the belongings of Kathleen Reith Muller were found inside a backpack in Lane Cove on the lower North Shore. The 28-year-old was last sighted at a retail store in Artarmon that day, as well as in North Sydney, wearing a long dress and black flat shoes. Police say they're heavily reliant on new information to locate the woman. There are reports this morning New South Wales Trade Minister Stuart Ayres is battling for his job over John Barilaro's appointment to a $500,000 a year plum trade job in New York. The Daily Telegraph says Minister Ayres has been phoning Liberal colleagues to reassure them he did nothing wrong, to calm calls for him to resign. The state government is set to release a trove of new documents relating to Mr Barilaro's appointment today. John Barilaro will front the inquiry investigating his appointment next week. Well, Australians are being squeezed by cost of living pressures in the supermarket and at the petrol bowser. Now get set to feel the pinch at the pub. Beer is about to get a lot more expensive. The tax on the amber drink is set to rise 4%, the biggest increase in 30 years. The Brewers Association of Australia says it will soon cost $15 for a pint. The lobby is calling on the Albanese government to slash the tax in its October budget. Well, still to come this morning on 10 News First Breakfast, reconciliation push, the Prime Minister's historic speech proposing an Indigenous voice to Parliament. And remembering the great Archie Roach. This morning, we're celebrating the life of the singer, truth teller and First Nations champion.
It's a massive Monday on 10.
We're on here.
With only 2 episodes to go, will anyone outrun the Hunters?
We've been hunted down!
Then it's their 250th show with very special guest, Quizmaster, the Prime Minister. Hunted and Have You Been Paying Attention? Tonight on 10.
Jack's wife Jill knows his birthday's just around the corner and needs to find the perfect gift.
Of course, NTF.
Jill knows they service all of the NT and stock all the big brands.
Power tools and fasteners to keep Jack busy.
NTF have it.
Safety equipment to keep Jack safe.
NTF have it.
Do you deliver?
NTF do. Jill made just one stop at NTF. Use the one account, save time and money. NTF, the construction suppliers and power tool specialists. Coolalinga and Berrima.
Crab Claw Island. Plan a relaxing family getaway or a fishing weekend with mates. Crab Claw Resort's new boat ramp gives easy access to Bino Harbour's great fishing, crabbing and natural wildlife. Hire one of the resort's new boats for a day on the water, or just hang out by the pool or at the bar. Air-conditioned, elevated beachfront and palm garden cabins available all year round. Only an hour's drive from Darwin. Crab Claw Island Resort. A piece of paradise.
1041 Territory FM. Darwin's greatest hits. 1041 Territory FM.
Osha told us we had a Grammy Award winner. I reckon it's you. Now you can sing!
The Masked Singer starts Sunday.
This week on Studio 10, the ever-inspiring Taria Pitt's new project. She reveals what she's learned from other Aussies.
This week on Studio 10.
Welcome back. 5 years since the Uluru Statement from the Heart was delivered to Parliament, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has formally set in motion the process of enshrining an Indigenous voice in the Constitution. While attending the Gama Festival in northeast Arnhem Land on the weekend, the Prime Minister outlined the proposed wording of an historic referendum.
I am determined, as a government, as a country, that we grasp that hand of healing. We repay that faith. We rise to the moment. It will be an unflinching source of advice and accountability, not a third chamber, not a rolling veto, not a blank cheque. Australia does not have to choose between improving people's lives and amending the Constitution. We can do both, and we have to.
Lowitja Institute Chair Selwyn Button joins us now from Brisbane. Selwyn, good morning to you. Just how significant was the Prime Minister's announcement over the weekend?
Good morning, Sarah, and good morning to your viewers. The significance of the announcement of the weekend is something that is very much felt across Indigenous communities nationally. It's been something we've been waiting for a long time. It's been 5 years since the Uluru Statement, but it's also been many years prior to that many people have been involved in conversations with previous Prime Ministers and previous governments about what this should look like and getting to the point of constitutional recognition. So it is something that we've been waiting for a while.
Concerns that a First Nations body that might not actually have any power to create change. What do you make of those criticisms?
Look, I think people start to jump to what the functions look like before we've even had a chance to get an understanding of what we're trying to achieve. Having a voice to Parliament, having a group of people, elected people, provide advice on a regular basis to politicians and to executive government is very much about informing how policy and legislation should be framed. It's about creating a voice for community and making sure that they actually have a seat at the table in relation to what goes on in terms of influencing their lives. And it's no different to what happens in other countries. For those from New Zealand who are familiar with the Treaty of Waitangi, there is a Waitangi tribunal that provides the same type of advice and support to the New Zealand Parliament. So we're not talking about anything that's groundbreakingly different that happens in other countries. All we're talking about is ensuring that Indigenous people, First Nations people of this country, have a voice in relation to policies and legislation that affect their lives.
We need to get this referendum right. So when do you think this referendum should be held, and how optimistic are you about a majority yes vote?
Look, in terms of optimism, I think there's plenty of sentiment in the air in the sense that lots of the polling that had existed leading up to the Uluru Statement and post the Uluru Statement was showing that the majority of the Australian people would support a concept of the voice to Parliament. So certainly it's about that ongoing educational piece to make sure that the Australian public have a deeper understanding of the needs of Aboriginal Torres Strait people and what First Nations people want in this country. In terms of symbolism and around when we should do it, I would suggest that we'd probably try and work towards the 27th of May in 2023, which then coincides with the 67 referendum. That certainly would be a symbolic piece for us to then work towards, to say then as a nation, we've had two significant events on the same day even though that they meet 50-odd years split, 50-odd years apart. It provides an opportunity for Australia as a nation to use that date as an opportunity to do something significant.
You're absolutely right. Selwyn, before we let you go, we must offer our sincere condolences as well for the loss of Archie Roach over the weekend. Just how important was he as a trailblazer and truth teller for Indigenous Australians?
Look, Uncle Archie Roach was a giant of a man, and the work that he'd done, not just through his music and in his song and his stories, but certainly about providing that spotlight on the stolen generation and highlighting the needs and making sure that people who were affected by those policies and were part of the stolen generation, that they were given a voice. And they were certainly given a voice through the music of Uncle Archie Roach.
Beautifully said. Selwyn Button, thanks for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
A private memorial ceremony will be held for Australian music icon Archie Roach, the pioneering Indigenous artist who drew global attention to the stolen generation. As we heard, died at age 66 after a long fight with illness. And a warning to our Indigenous viewers, this report contains images of Archie with the permission of his family.
Archie Roach once said, songs outlive people, and his words, his voice, will forever be a part of this country.
Mother Earth, gonna always hold you.
Roach was just 3 years old when he was taken, a member of the stolen generation. The last time he saw his parents, his father was screaming and being restrained by police. It was a trauma that would almost destroy him.
I just thought, I was gonna die, die with a flagon of honky tonk in my hand. But it didn't turn out that way, thank goodness.
In song, he found salvation.
His voice, his music and his story came out of pain but was informed by hope.
Archie met the love of his life, singer Ruby Hunter, when they were both homeless. Together they built a family, a life, and became a powerful voice for injustice.
Their relationship had been born in this struggle, and they were tight. When she passed, it really hit him.
Even through his own illness, his voice carried on, producing a remarkable 10 albums in his life, a healing not just for himself, but for the country.
His message was really about reconciliation and forgiveness.
From Paul Kelly, who co-produced his first record, Big Tree Down, Weeping in the Forest, referencing one of his songs. The PM said our country has lost a brilliant talent, a powerful and prolific national truth teller. And from his sons, we are so proud of everything our dad achieved in his remarkable life. He was a healer and unifying force.
I don't often use this phrase, but with Archie, I would describe him as a truly great Australian.
The most beautiful, important songs from a wonderful soul.
In life and in song, Archie Roach chose his words carefully. Perhaps that's why they touched so many. Archie Roach was 66. Ursula Hager for 10 News First.
Well, up next on 10 News First Breakfast, a family's fight. The parents of murdered schoolgirl Tanya Burgess pushed to identify the teenage murderer.
turn. There's someone who has sold more than 50 million records worldwide.
You can sing! Yes!
Someone is a Grammy Award winner.
I reckon it's you.
Wow! There's a gold medal winning legend of Australian sport.
We might have the gold medalist right now.
And a multiple Logie winner.
Who is it?
The Masked Singer starts 7:30 Sunday on 10.
Stay tuned to find out how you can get your very own Taste the Difference Ear Roaster Pro for fat-free and oil-free cooking, absolutely free.
You can replace an entire gym full of equipment with the one piece of equipment that does it all. Your total gym comes fully assembled. Just open it up and you're ready to begin.
Nothing will keep you motivated like results. And the Total Gym gets you results.
Perhaps you want to lose weight, feel better, or just be as active as you were 10 years ago.
If so, you're not alone.
With Total Gym, you can work your major muscle groups simultaneously to get a total body workout in a fraction of the time you could with circuit training or free weights.
Anyone can use the Total Gym, regardless of age or fitness level, because your own body weight provides the resistance. You simply raise the incline to increase resistance and lower it to reduce resistance.
I'm a busy mom with 3 children and limited time. With the Total Gym, I can take 10 to 15 minutes, and it's right here in my house.
More reps at the lower incline slenderizes, firms, and tones for that longer, leaner look.
While fewer reps at the higher inclines are ideal for bodybuilding.
And look at this. When you're finished with your workout, just fold it up and slide it under a bed, up against a wall, or into a closet. The Total Gym is built to last, and it comes with a warranty.
How much would you expect to pay to get the lean, sexy body you've always dreamed of? Don't answer, because here today we've worked out a very special offer for the viewers. We're so sure you'll love working out on Total Gym Fit and will be amazed at the results. So call right now to see if you qualify for a 30-day risk-free trial. But wait, you'll get the Startup DVD with beginner, intermediate and advanced workouts. A $40 value. Yours free. That's right, absolutely free. But wait, there's more. We'll send you John Carlio's DVD with this amazing 6 to 8 minute a day total gym workout. Another $40 value free. But we're still not done. As a special bonus, you'll receive trainer Todd Durkin's 3 DVD series. Todd will motivate you to increase your strength, stamina and energy, raise your metabolism and burn fat. A $50 value, also yours free. And it just gets better. Call right now and you'll get the amazing Pilates kit, a $160 value, and it's yours free. That's right, absolutely free. That's up to a huge $290 in free gifts just for ordering right now. But wait, call right now and you'll also receive an amazing Air Roaster Pro for fat-free, oil-free cooking, a $500 value, absolutely free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Eat healthier meals without any added oils or fats. But you must call now. So call 1-800-335-335. That's 1-800-335-335. We guarantee you'll be delighted with the results you get from your Total Gym Fit. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-335-335. This offer is not available in stores, so call now.
This week on Studio 10, the ever-inspiring Taria Pitt's new project. She reveals what she's learned from other Aussies who've beaten incredible odds.
Plus, who'll be hunted down next?
When you are ready, move now. Move now.
The latest failed fugitives will debrief right here. This week on Studio 10.
17 years after murdering 15-year-old Tanya Burgess on the New South Wales Central Coast, her killer will be released from jail today. Legally, we can't name Tanya's murderer, as the man was just a teenager when he stabbed the girl 48 times. Tanya's parents have been pushing for the laws to be changed so he can be named publicly. The man is on parole and under strict conditions. The Health Minister has confirmed millions of Australians are going without critical medication because they simply can't afford it. But there's some relief on the way for those battling a condition called spinal muscular atrophy, with a life-saving drug about to become much more affordable.
28-year-old Felix Walsh is a glass-half-full kind of guy.
He's had spinal muscular atrophy since birth.
Look, honestly, it's a pretty normal kind of life.
That's improved dramatically since starting the Spinraza treatment 8 months ago, building back Felix's strength, allowing him to cook dinner and open doors.
It sounds really small and really insignificant to most people, but it makes a huge difference in your life and the way that you kind of feel about yourself.
He got it for free as part of a trial. For most other patients, though, it's out of reach.
Who's got a spare $100,000 6 times a year to pay for medicines?
But from today, it'll be available on the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme.
This will change the lives of dozens and dozens of Australian families every single year.
The social policy student wants the federal government to do more to help all Australians with a health condition as cost of living soars. Pharmaceutical prices have only increased by 1% in the past year, but despite being a necessity, medicines competing in the household budget against rising petrol, food and housing.
When the pressure starts to kick in, one of the things that is first to go is people's medicines.
And the health ministers told 10 News First that's exactly what's happening.
Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Australians are going without scripts that their doctor has given them for really important medicines just because of the cost.
In coming weeks, the government will introduce legislation to fulfil its election promise of cutting the maximum co-payment under the PBS from $42.50 to $30.
We're committed to making sure that those price cuts, those savings, those important savings for millions of Australians are available on the 1st of January.
Part of the remedy for an economic crisis. Chloe Burris for 10 News First.
All right, let's take a look at the weather now across the country and in Brisbane. You've got a shower or two coming your way in 21 degrees. Canberra, showers, then mostly sunny. In Sydney, a medium chance of showers, then a mostly sunny afternoon. In Hobart, you can expect partly cloudy conditions and a top of 13 degrees. Melbourne, also partly cloudy and 16. Adelaide, possible shower and 15 degrees. Perth, showers and a possible storm in the afternoon. And in Darwin, mostly sunny conditions expected and 32 degrees. Well, that is 10 News First Breakfast for this Monday. Narelda is back on the desk tomorrow. Thank you for your company and your patience. Join me and Tristan next for Studio 10. Bye for now.
Coming up on Studio 10, Royal Wishes.
Good luck, I hope you win. Bye.
Princess Charlotte cheers on her favourite team in a sweet video message. Plus, former Yellow Wiggle Emma Watkins introduces us to her exciting new kids character. And we're catching up with Scary Spice. Mel B takes us behind the scenes of this season's wackiest show, The Masked Singer.
Tristan, Ange and Narelda. This is Studio 10.
Hello there. Top of the morning to you. It's Monday the 1st of August and what a huge morning from Australia. Sarah Harris has finally cracked. She has missed her 8 a.m. starts here on Studio 10 so much. Today she took on the breakfast news and smashed it. Well done. That was awesome. What a morning for you.
Well, Lockie's unwell at the moment, so I stepped in. I have not read the news for about 12 years.
And how was it?
Big morning. Very big morning.
It was great.
But it was fun. It was fun. But Narelda, you've got a proper newsreader back on the desk tomorrow and Wednesday.
That's
so
fantastic.
Lockie's
Did you go with fake news today or your own?
All real news, mate.
All real news, of course I was.
10 News First Breakfast, come on.
You're dead right. And how about the real news, huh?
I know. What about the gold rush that is happening in Birmingham at the moment? Gold medal haul at the Com Games overnight. Emma McKeon becoming the most decorated Commonwealth Games athlete of all time. 11 gold medals. She said that she is mentally in the best